Boom shakalaka, what is going on everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love, and today I have a video for you about why the Bitcoin bubble is set to begin in like 2 months or less and why I'm super excited about it. Now for those of you guys who have been commenting recently saying where are you filming, are you in like a mall or whatever, it's actually a co-working space because I am traveling the world and right now I am in my favorite country on earth. So if any of you can guess that down in the comments, I don't know. We'll see who can guess. But anyways, we will get into all of that stuff and more right after a word from our sponsor. Now, for the past month, the whole entire market has been going sideways. I mean, as you can see here, really no changes. On a day-to-day, it's like a 0 point something % change with Bitcoin and most other cryptocurrencies. Again, and when we take a look at coin market cap, really nothing happened, just like 0% across the board, not much of a change at all. And even here, I mean, we've been looking at this little, I mean, it's a wedge, but it's like a pretty narrow wedge we've been in. The past few videos I've made, or the past couple of days, I've talked about the significance of this downtrend we've been in. A couple of these other channels, like the 200 weekly EMA and 200 weekly moving average. And guess what? I mean, it does look like we are starting to test them and potentially push outside of them. Now, those could be some pretty positive indicators, so we'll have to keep an eye on what's happening there if we continue to just go sideways. Because if we go sideways, we're pushing out of the previous downtrend we've been in, which could be very good. You know, downtrend to uptrend, bearish to bullish. That could be good stuff. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today because really, you know, the market's going sideways, nothing much happening, nothing really in the news. But I was watching some videos today, you know, pick up some information, find out what's going on. And one video I was watching by Sunny Decree, he posted a video by this dude, Contrarian Dude. All right, and this video is back in 2015. And then another video I was watching today was this one, Is Bitcoin the Future of Money? Debate between Peter Schiff and Eric Voorhees. And both of them, in both of these videos, they're very good videos, number one. I would recommend watching them because it's a very good argument for Bitcoin, period. But in both of these videos, what they do is they talk about supply and demand. All right, now I've talked about this for a while, like simple economics, supply and demand, that dictates price. When there's more supply than demand, the price goes down. When there's more demand than supply, the price goes up. Simple as that. Well, for a long time with Bitcoin, we have been mining 12.5 blocks, 12.5 Bitcoin every block. That's going to be changing in exactly 421 days, a little bit over a year. Okay, that's going to be changing in a little bit over a year. The estimated date is around May 23rd of 2020. Well, what happens then? Okay, right now, what we have going on is we have Bitcoin price, which sure, some people say, you know, the whales manipulate price. And you know what? There is quite a bit of price manipulation. But, as more and more people get involved with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, what happens is that the more and more people who get involved, they have more of, they're able to influence that demand a lot more than just the whales. As we saw back in, you know, the most recent time was December of 2017, we saw a very large demand with a fixed supply and the price shot up. Well, what's going to be happening coming up soon is that while the demand that's pretty much stable, the supply is going to be decreasing by half. That means that every block, instead of 12.5 Bitcoin, there's only going to be 6.25 Bitcoin mined. And as I've shown previously, what happens roughly a year before that, which would be May of 2019, which would be 2 months, which would be very freaking exciting, is that that's when the price starts to tick up. Now you may say, well, why doesn't it wait until the actual halving happens? Well, I mean, maybe people see it coming. You know, it's kind of like EOS made an announcement the other day, the price shot up. They made an announcement about announcements. Well, this is the announcement about the announcement of the halvening. You know, I just did the same thing here. And that's basically what's happening. People are buying the rumor, and then maybe not selling the news, but They're buying the rumor, then the news happens, and then they're selling the bubble. That's what happens, really. The smart people are doing. I wouldn't know, I'm not smart, but that's what I hear the smart people are doing. So anyways, we've seen this multiple times before. So each of these orange arrows is the actual halvening date. So this is when we went from this one here, when we went from 50 Bitcoin per block to 25 Bitcoin per block. Then here we went from 25 Bitcoin per block to 12.5 Bitcoin per block. And then this one coming up is 12.5 to 6.25. All right. Now, as you can see, exactly, I put a white arrow exactly 1 year before each of these dates. And if you take a look, that's like pretty much the bottom. In each of these cases, pretty much the bottom. And as you can see, we're kind of riding the bottom of this trend line here up to the bottom. That's why I think that potentially we could be bottoming and the bubble could be about to begin. Now, it may be, maybe a year and some out. It may be 2 years out until we actually see the bubble happening. 2021 is the predicted economic collapse. And when that shit happens, it's going to go crazy. But here's another article which is talking about kind of supporting this theory. This was from MarketWatch, but Bitcoin's about to set another record. This one might actually be a good one. It turns out that according to data from the Dow Jones market data, the monthly trading range for Bitcoin in March stands at 7.8%, which would be the least volatile on record ever. And if we take a look at this chart here, all right, this is the Bitcoin volatility trading ranges. So we had, what we should do is compare this with this. So the last time we had another bubble was 2013. And if we take a look at the volatility ranges, boom, end of 2013, huge volatility. But what happens is the volatility drops until about somewhere in 2015. And if we take a look there, somewhere in 2015, boom, right around there. Actually, the dates may be almost identical. This is April, May, June of 2015. And if we take a look here, April, May, June of 2015, that's exactly 1 year before the halvening. Crazy. Well, it's happening again. We saw a lot of volatility. This was in December of 2017 when the price shot up. And then where are we looking? Right now, we're seeing at record lows for volatility. And guess what? Markets go in cycles. There's a song by Tribe Called Quest. Back in the days when I was a teenager, before I had status and before I had a pager, you could find abstract listening hip hop. My mom used to say, remind him of bebop. Well, things go in cycles. Something about Bobby Brown amping like Michael. If you guys want to post that down in the comments, you can just help me out. But it says cycles in that song. But markets go in cycles. And well, guess what? Volatility goes down before volatility goes up. So there will be volatility going up in the future. And I would think that that would be higher prices for Bitcoin because guess what? Based on simple economics. I think we overcomplicate things as humans. Based on simple economics, supply and demand, when they're at an equilibrium, we see price going sideways, like what's happening right now. Okay, the price has been going sideways for a long, long time because supply and demand are pretty much equal. But what's going to happen when the halvening happens is that demand is equal. Supply is cut in half. And then when the supply is cut in half, price automatically has to go up. It's a simple equation. Unless all of a sudden at that date, like half as many people are just like, you know what, this Bitcoin thing, just not really that interested. So. That's pretty much why I think that we are at the very beginning of a Bitcoin bubble. Very exciting. And also, with this stuff, I'm keeping my eye on this because this is pretty interesting. If we are going to push outside of the yearly downtrend and potentially just keep going sideways, maybe between the 200 EMA and 200 moving average, that could be pretty interesting because if we push out of that, that might be a downtrend to an uptrend. Bearish to bullish change. So that's all for the episode today, guys. If you are interested in trading, I use Signal Profits every day. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. You can get, 25% in a day, 20% in a day. You get pretty good returns on some of these things. Some don't do very well, but you can do it with 3 commas. It's very fun. 64% in a day. There was a big one this week. It was 148% in 12 hours. Also, make sure you check out the Monarch wallet at monarchtoken.io. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will continue traveling the world, having fun, and making videos for you. So, love you very much. All right, peace.